Hello friends, we are science guards. Today we are showing you how breadboard, Veroboard, printed circuit board, this type of all boards in which the circuitries, electrical circuitries are being made work. Here you are watching, this is a breadboard. It's very fair breadboard. Its front view is like this, and from back it looks like this. Well, this type of board was firstly used to slice breads, so the name has come from there. It's named after bread. You can see there two type of terminals, likewise this type of terminals and this type of terminals. In these terminals the rows are being sorted, and in these type of terminals, if I look in this way, in these terminals the rows are being sorted like this, and in these terminals the columns are being sorted like this. In case 5 columns here, 1 2 3 4 5, these 5 columns are being sorted inside. It basically gets sorted through tin plated silver, bronze, or sometimes nickel phosphor alloy. Okay, let us show you how this type of underground sort is being done with such usages of alloys. This is another breadboard which is not so fair like the previous one. Anyway, but we are going to show you in this breadboard that how that underground connections are being made. Well, I am stripping that back cover from here like that. It's so dirty, you can see it exactly like that. These are the terminals where the rows are being sorted, and these are the terminals where the columns are being sorted. And also this plate I have already taken out, and I am showing it to you. It looks like that. This is the plate which was placed here exactly like this, and this is the underground shortage diagram, or you can say that schematic exactly. Now I'll going to flip this and close this cover. This is a breadboard. This looks dirty. It's old breadboard. Now we are going to check by connecting wires that the breadboard is okay or not. Well, we have already said about the connections, underground connections of breadboard. Now we are going to check it, is it okay or not. We are going to start it from these terminals. What we have said, the rows are interconnected. So we are going to check it with the help of a multimeter. Here is a multimeter. You can see that multimeter is in off position. You can see this arrow. Now we are going to change this arrow of this probe from off to that continuity mode. Here is the continuity mode of the multimeter, and in case when we are going to touch these two probes at these two wires, like this, you are listening to this beeping sound, and in case of checking continuity in between 2 points, if some beeping sound occurs, that means these 2 points are continuous. So we have already checked the continuity of that row shorted terminal. Now we are going to check the continuity of column shorted terminals. You can see this, we have we have used 2 wires, one is yellow and another is green. Now we are going to check the continuity in between these 2 points. And here the beeping sound is again formed, so we can say that these 2 points are continue. But here we have drawn a blue color sign. That blue color sign means here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns are sorted, but this column and this column are not interconnected, or you can say are not shorted. So we are going to connect the wires in between these 2 columns to prove that they are not connected, they are not interconnected. Now we are going to use multimeter probes to have a continuity test like that. And no beeping sound is being formed. You can see and you can also listen that no sound is there. So we can say that these 2 terminals are not shorted. Now, and 2 probes are connected in 2 terminals of the single wire, and you can say that these 2 are sorted. Now if we connect a simple wire in between the 2 terminals, this and this, now if we check the continuity test in between these 2 terminals, let's listen what happened. And it beeps. So we can say that as soon as we have connected the wire to continue this connection from this point to this point, exactly the current can flow and it becomes a continue connection. Now we are going to show you how 2 breadboards are being connected. We have already said that breadboards are being used to make the prototypes of some gigantic circuits easily in labs or for easy use. Well, in case this is a breadboard, here is some hole sort of places, and here are some heap type of places you can easily watch. So as soon as we need to put these 2 breadboards together, we have to make this heap type of part of one breadboard into the hole of the another breadboard, exactly like that, like that, like that, like that, and like that. So here you can watch that 2 breadboards are interconnected. Now that problem of space can easily be solved by doing this. We have discussed about breadboard. These 2 boards which are lying, these are called Veroboards. This is a large Veroboard, this is a small Veroboard. This is not only the only difference in between 2 Veroboards. You can see in this Veroboard, with this point, and in between this point and this point there is a line, and there are no same connections throughout this whole line. So if I connect any wire or anything at this point and I need to connect this from something connected in this point, I have to make a soldering with my soldering machine. But in case of this Veroboard, if I connect something at this point and I need to connect something with some component or with some wire at this point, there is no need of any soldering, because you can watch these lines, this line and this line. In between the lines, throughout this whole passage, there's a copper sheath, and for that copper sheath it conducts. Now we are going to check with use a probe, a multimeter probes, and at the same points through this passage I have mentioned, you can see these are shorted, so this beeping sound from this multimeter is being taken place. Well, now we are going to check this small multimeter, small Veroboard. No beeping sound is being occurred. Same here, no beeping sound is being occurred. No sound, no shot. So soldering is being done, and the soldering mostly in this type of in Veroboard which is being done is called line soldering. Well, after Veroboard, printed circuit board comes. So the first question comes in mind that why this is named like this, printed circuit board. You can see simply the difference in between a Veroboard and a printed circuit board. No circuit is being drawn here. In Veroboard there was no circuit drawn. So if you need to make a circuit, you have to make your own circuit and then you have to continue. But in case of a PCB or printed circuit board, you can see there that black portion is that connection within the board. The circuit is already printed and the connection is already made. Only you have to put the components in that places. Like I am giving an example, like in that place, that 3 terminal collector base emitter, this is a BC557 transistor. In case here emitter base collector, this is a BC547 transistor. This is a 10K resistance, this is an LED, this is an on-off probe, this is an 3 to 6 volt supply, here and also probe, this is an 15K resistance. This is a multi-tester printed circuit board, and the components which and where are to be put is clearly drawn on that board and the circuit is already made. So in case of some larger boards, CPUs, and in case where the circuit is very gigantic, you can't use breadboard, you can't use Veroboard. In these cases where these boards can be very hard and very complicated to use, this type of printed circuit board are being used. Also besides these 3 boards, strip board and so many other boards are also being found to use, but these 3 type of boards are mostly used boards. Thank you. Keep watching.